Joining me is Ben Walk. I hope I pronounced that properly.
Yeah, all good.
And you're community manager for Grid Autosport. Welcome to the program, Ben.
Thanks for having me.
Now, why don't you tell us about Grid? I mean, this is a very big franchise in the Codemasters world. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so obviously Grid now, the first Grid came out just 6 years ago, just a couple of weeks ago. So obviously from there on, we've had obviously Race Driver Grid, then Grid 2 last year. Now Grid Autosport is the third instalment of the Grid brand. We're back to a more authentic motorsport setting, lots of real-world tracks, cars handle as you imagine they would, loads of cars, authentic motorsport racing.
You know, it's been around for 6 years now. Did you say it's been 3 iterations of the game now?
Yeah, so obviously the series itself has its roots way back in the TOCA games, which are like 20 plus years old, back to like the old PlayStation 1 era and stuff like that, like TOCA touring cars, World Touring cars. Then it went through to Race Driver, and then obviously in 2008 we launched Race Driver Grid. Last year we launched Grid 2, and then obviously now here we are with Grid Autosport.
Now, what would you say, I mean, going from one version to the next, I mean, what are the big improvements that we could look forward to in Grid Autosport? What do we have to be excited about with this release?
Well, I think the big thing is that it's gone back, it's that authentic motorsport experience. It's everything our fans were telling us they wanted, all the press were telling us they wanted to see us go back, essentially gone back to our roots, as if it were. So obviously you can see behind we're racing on a really nice Mont Tremblant circuit in Canada. First time we've ever featured the track in any of our games. And yeah, it's just that authentic motorsport experience, the refined handling, enhanced damage model with wear and tear on the car, persistent multiplayer. Yeah, it's just loads to talk about.
Sounds like a lot of fun. What platforms will it be supporting?
It's PC, Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3.
Excellent. In the PC world, do you need a really powerful graphics card to make this work?
No, so we work quite well with, we got a partnership with Intel. We've done a lot of work on the optimization of the game, and something we're getting quite renowned for now is like how well our games work on not just the really high-end machines but on the lower spec ones as well. The game runs on a Windows 8 tablet if you have it, and that's the full game as well. So it really runs on like an entry-level system all the way up then to the top tier.
Now, you're community manager for Grid. I'm guessing there's a big multiplayer component to this. What are the interesting things from a community point of view that has been done with the Grid game?
So from a multiplayer point of view, at the heart of it is RaceNet, which is our sort of online hub, as if it were. On there we've got all the usual stuff where players can track their stats, they can compare it to the community. We have weekly challenges that are fed directly from RaceNet into the game. So players can go in every week, do one of 6 different challenges, earn experience and awards. But the big thing this year for Autosport is forming of clubs, where players will be able to set up a club with their friends, create a livery, and then just race online together. Excellent,
excellent. Now, being the community manager for Grid, I imagine you have your honor to protect. Are you good at this?
Not as good. I'll say not as good as I should be.
I don't know. A colleague of yours said, "Oh man, he's one of the good ones." That's what I heard. He said, "You can't finish a race, but you seem to always end up number 1." Is there truth to this story?
Flattery. Flattery gets you everywhere.
Excellent, excellent. Now, I don't know if you've been tracking this, but obviously at E3, one of the big platforms or the excitement is around virtual reality and immersive technology. Has Bandai Namco been tracking this?
So for us, obviously, at Codemasters, obviously, we're the developers of the game. Obviously, VR is something that is on everyone's minds at the moment. Everyone's sort of looking down that route, and it's something we have looked at in the past. Honestly, we've looked at it for Autosport. We've had Oculus kits in the studio and stuff like that, but it just wasn't the right game for us at the time. It was something that we don't want to just rush into it and just do it as a tick on the back of the box sort of thing. Once we do VR, we want to do it properly.
What do you think, for Codemasters at least, what do you think is the excitement behind immersive technology? What does it bring to the table?
Well, for us, I think it's sort of, for racing games in particular, it's almost like they were made for each other. I mean, sitting in the cockpit, the ability to like look around left and right and all that really helps put the player into that driver's seat. So anything from us, that's what we want, is that level of immersion. So anything we can get our hands on that will aid us in getting that feeling to the player, then yeah, it's going to be great.
So you mentioned Oculus. Obviously, Sony has an interest in this as well. Sony's got the Morpheus brand name, and there's other kinds of products like Technical Illusions, Virelia, I mean Avagant, I mean all kinds of stuff is coming to market. Do you see a future where like Codemasters would go for like a diverse industry support? Do you see it going for like a branded specific market? How do you think something like that would play out?
Really, I think it's probably a bit too early to say. Obviously, we've not fully supported VR yet on any of our titles. I think it'll just be something we cross when we get to it, and once we've got over the hurdles we're looking to overcome, supporting it, and then we'll just take it from there.
Excellent, excellent. So, Grid Autosport, when is it available? When can people get it, and how can they get it?
So it comes out in just 2 weeks' time. So it starts on June the 24th in North America, June 27th across Europe. It's available across, obviously, in all the game stores, as well as on PC, on Steam, and everything else like that.
So I venture you're going to have a lot more competition soon.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've been practicing at home as of late, just to gear up, ready for the onslaught.
Excellent. Well, thanks for joining us, Ben. No problem. This is Neil Schneider for MTBS-TV at the E3 Expo. Back with more. Thanks for watching.